Hi everyone, this is Dave from Pandora Prime Recon, and I'm here with you today for another starter deck unboxing. This is not for the original 40K CCG, as with some of my previous videos, but it is for the Dark Millennium CCG. So this is kind of the final iteration of Sabertooth Games' Warhammer 40K line of card games. So they started with the original Warhammer 40,000 CCG, then they moved on to Horus Heresy, and Dark Millennium is kind of the final step in their kind of series of 40K card games. So this was released, I think, around 2006, 2007. One of my previous videos has talked about Dark Millennium. I did some opening of some packs from one of the expansions, but I haven't actually opened up one of the starter decks. So I thought it'd be cool to open this on camera and show you guys what was inside. Let's take a look on the back. It has a kind of a list of contents. So there's one semi-random 60-card deck. We'll find out what that means. I don't really know what's in this deck. It has all of the usual cards, exclusive cards, I'm presuming the sector cards that you need to play, as well as a rules sheet. You can see this is the Imperial faction. So unlike the other 40K card games, what they did with this specific card game is that they grouped all of the human factions into one kind of overall Uber faction, I guess. So that would include Space Marines, Sisters of Battle, Imperial Guard. They're all in one faction now. You can see here the front has illustration of a Dark Angel with, even by Space Marine standards, these are comically large pauldrons. I don't think they ever go this high. This is like Terminator level kind of shoulder pad size. But anyways, that's the charm of 40K. So let's just open this up and see what's inside. And again, I didn't play this game when it was released. I only started collecting it a year ago during the pandemic. So they're a little bit harder to find, at least from what I can see. But the game itself, it looks pretty similar to the original 40K CCG, just with some tweaks, some expansion of some of the mechanics in the game. So it is recognizable, but they aren't compatible to my knowledge. I don't think you can play original 40K cards with these ones, just because there are enough changes that everything is fairly different. So we've got the deck here, we've got this, let's put this aside. So we've got this kind of fold out. I imagine this talks about the rules. Yeah, so this is a fold out, some pieces of paper. Yeah, so this is, I guess this is in lieu of an actual rule book, so it looks like it covers all of the rules. Yeah, this looks pretty extensive. Yeah, so I imagine this takes the place of a regular rule book, but it does seem to cover all the different mechanics. So I can't, it's so big they can't fit it on the actual camera frame, but I'll trust that it's pretty comprehensive. So take a look, this is the actual deck. I believe it's 60 cards as was listed on the back of the box. Now the only challenge is opening it. Imagine I can just, yeah, here we go. Hopefully I won't damage any of the cards with my clumsy hands. Okay, so shrink wrap. Let's take a look what's inside. So you've got Squad Galadin. So it looks like with the other card games, you can see that the rarity, you can tell the rarity by the number of dots in the bottom left-hand corner of the card, as well as expansion code. So it's worth noting that they probably reused a lot of art. I remember this is, actually, there is a Squad Galadin in the original 40K CCG, but I imagine the mechanics are a fair bit different. But you can see that some of the mechanics and terms are very similar, like counterattack, firepower. You can see up here, I talked about this in a previous video, but all the stats are now listed up here, and every unit now has an assault value, which is different from the original 40K CCG. And then you have a flag symbol here, so some things are similar. So you've got more Squad Galadin. Okay, so it seems like if they're collated like this, I imagine this is the fixed portion of the deck, where it just gives you enough cards, playable cards, to get going. So I think this artwork is new. It's a Deathwing Squad. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the Firepower 4, Assault 4, Speed 1, Armor 4. I mean, in the original 40K card game, this would be a monster of a unit, especially with counterattack. But I imagine the game is a little bit different, some of these rules. Protectors of Cadia, so we've got some Imperial Guard infantry. Guns of Cadia. The Vigilant. This looks like Chimera or a Hellhound. Hard to, I think it's Chimera. The turret looks like a Chimera-ish. Yeah, so you've got paired. Yeah, so you've got sister battle units. So it's pretty cool. These are common still. Got Interrogator Praxis. This is a character similar to the original 40K CCG, but you can tell they can now have flags, which is an interesting difference. So I think we're getting to some of the uncommons. You can tell by the 2 dots now. This looks like these are some Valkyries. So yeah, you can see like a mix of Imperial units. Assassin. Are these assassins? I guess so. Yeah, I mean maybe they're death. This character here looks like a death cult assassin. But this guy looks more like some kind of weird. I don't know. Doesn't look quite like elite assassin level, but I could be wrong. Avenging Angel. So this is one of the differences from the original 40K CCG is that they have ships. Ships are kind of a new unit type in this card game, where they basically, you deploy them essentially outside of the battlefield, and you can use them at any battle, but you can only use them once over the course of a turn, unless you can find a way to rally this specific ship. So it's kind of like these ships are overhead, like in low orbit, kind of supporting your forces. But you can tell this is a rare. So the Avenging Angel is a Dark Angel ship, and it's got abilities that you can use at any sector, essentially. Hopefully I've got 2 of them. So these are 2 rares. We've got some more rares. So Innocence Proves Nothing. So this is an asset, which is essentially kind of like an artifact from Magic. It just kind of sits on the battlefield, and you can use its abilities, but it can also be destroyed because it has an armor value. So it's kind of a, yeah, it's not, doesn't necessarily represent a physical thing, but it's kind of like a battlefield strategy, you'd call it, that can be destroyed. It's kind of cool. Get some more rares. Oh, this just might be my favorite card in this deck. I used to be a Deathwing player, so I have a soft spot in my heart for Deathwing. So again, you got some more rares here, and then some pretty good stat line. 4-4-1-4 counterattack. It's pretty neat. So it looks like we got a decent number of rares for a starter deck. I think it was 6 rares. And then these are the sector cards that you'll be playing with. So I imagine these are from the base set, and again, instead of 5 sectors, the original game, you only have 3 here. So that kind of changes the dynamics of the battle a fair bit. But you can see they've got abilities just like the original sector cards in the game. So it looks like the first section of this deck, like the stuff, is all fixed. And it seems like this is the randomized portion. I could be wrong, but we'll see if that bears out. So we got some uncommon Seraphim. Again, this artwork was used in the original card game. So Delivers of Mercy. So these are Seraphim. That's uncommon. Guns of Cadia. Yes, this looks quite randomized now. Creed Sentinels. We had one of these already. Obedience Rhino. So yeah, I can see even the distribution looks pretty randomized. The mix of commons and uncommons. But yeah, this is Inquisition Rhino. Atlantis Falcons. Some more Sisters of Battle. It's nice seeing more Sisters of Battle units, because I remember, if you're an old fogey like me, you know the days when there's only like 3 different types of sisters. Now there's like a billion of them, so that's pretty cool. Got some more. Got some. You rarely see some of these specialized guardsmen. So I wonder why they called it they have a Cadian designation, even though they're Inquisition troops. It's interesting. Burning Deliverance, you got an Immolator. That's a lot of text. I'm not going to read that out. I'll save you some time. Some more sisters. Yeah, lots of Imperial units. Not that many Space Marine units, which I imagine it's a nice change of pace. Oh my. Okay, so got a Prentia squad. They always do a little bit shocking when you see them. They're a little bit fanatical that way. Got some more squad Galadins to boost Dark Angel's forces. So yeah, it looks like so far these are just commons and uncommons, but I'm not really complaining, because like these looks like a decent value for what you get in a starter deck, right? Like 6 rares or whatnot. Decent share of commons and uncommons. But again, yeah, a good mix of all different factions within the Imperials. It's cool. More Dark Angels, Raven Squad. So this. Yeah, I've got some really beginner level decks built already, but I think these will help build them out a little bit more. Cool. There's Lady. This looks like another Sisters Rhino. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So he's got Sergeant Naman. Yeah, I don't know if he's still in the current kind of fluff, but Sergeant Naman was I think he was in the 3rd and 4th Dark Angels Codexes, 3rd and 4th edition. So he's a fairly well-known name if you're a Dark Angels player. And this is Squad Galden. So we've got a decent number of Dark Angels and Sisters units. And yeah, I think the final cards, I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so this deck comes with 6 rares. And I think this is 60 cards, playable 60 card deck. But I imagine if you wanted, a theme deck of only Dark Angels or only Sisters of Battle, you could probably do that too. But I don't think you can do that with 60 cards. But yeah, so this is Imperial starter deck from the Warhammer 40K Dark Millennium CCG. This is a pretty cool open. I actually want to go and upgrade my decks now with some of the stuff I got here. But I always love seeing the artwork for this game because I think that's one of the strongest parts of this specific game is the artwork is it's so much more higher quality than some of the other versions, I think. Yeah, it was great. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing. If you've played Dark Millennium or have any memories of playing it back in the day, feel free to let me know in the comments. And if you want to see any more of this type of content, feel free to check out my blog at pandoraprimerecon.com and watch the other videos on this channel. Again, this is Dave from Pandora Prime Recon, and thanks for watching.